How many times have you heard the phrase, failure is not an option? These words have come to represent an emphatic rallying cry of sorts, a message that evokes the image of a leader exhorting flaws, likely at a critical time of need. Attributed to Gene Kranz, an American aerospace engineer and recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the quote was first used in preparation of the 1995 film about the Apollo 13 moon landing mission, an expedition where failure was indeed not an option. But in many instances, the phrase conveys entirely the wrong message. Often viewed as an antonym to success, failure has an outsized position in society. Far from being celebrated, the risk of failure becomes a deterrent to action. The emphasis is too often on all the reasons why not to do something, leading people to retreat to the safety of a cautious and familiar mindset. I have chosen to speak about failure because in our country today, at this moment in history in our world, the stage has been set for failure. And I really don't think it's a bad thing. The fear in Nigeria is palpable as the economy collapses spectacularly. Nigerian citizens have become armchair and beer parlor economists as they all prefer solutions to a problem they don't even understand. Japa is the answer for some, and for many who have always believed that failure is not an option, failure now stares them in the face. Through no fault of theirs, they have woken up to realize that paying the mortgage for a second home in a foreign country is no longer an option. Foreign schools are no longer an option for many. Foreign medicals out of the door. Summer holidays gone. First class and business class are now testimonies for the rich. Job losses are now the norm. How can you then say failure is not an option when it seems the very platform on which you stand has failed? Do you know how many people are living in shame as they now find it difficult to fuel their cars or pay house rent? They have reduced their expenditures on all fronts, so much so that it seems they are barely surviving. Doing two jobs is now normal for most of our youths. We are now a nation of hustlers as we all try to survive. Some of us are on plan Q and fast headed to plan Z. The worst thing for many is that those who ought to provide clarity, solutions, and leadership are either confused or quiet. Government, nothing. Pulpits, not saying anything. The speed of policy somersaults by the government is dizzying. In the midst of all the naira collapse in an import-dependent economy, the Nigerian government has again raised the exchange rate for cargo clearance from 952 naira to the dollar to 1,365 naira to the dollar. The mother of all inflations is upon us. Wahala has come to town and failure is an option, if not the only option. So what do you do when you chance upon failure? What do you do when you meet an unexpected misfortune? What do you do when the abnormal becomes the normal? The first thing you do is accept that you are in good company. There are many people like you, so there's nothing to be ashamed about. There are so many people who you look up to today who have been where you are now. They begged family and friends the way you are doing. They begged strangers the way you are doing. They ate one meal a day the way you are doing. They pulled their kids from expensive schools and put them in cheaper schools the way you are doing. They cried in their sleep the way you are doing. Tensions arose in their homes the way it has in your house. They saw their spouses as wasteful or the enemy just the same way you are seeing yours. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There's nothing new under the sun. Mark Zuckerberg failed through chat systems and games, study tools and music players before he got to Facebook. J.K. Rowling had 12 failures before she published Harry Potter. Even Beyonce had to make hundreds of songs to get Halo. They all graduated from this company of failure, so you too will graduate. You know them now because they have succeeded, but not when they failed. So is life. The world will yet hear of you. Failure is the test that begets your testimony, Adenuga, Jimovia, Tony Elmelu, Femi Otedola, and Dangote all fail at some point or the other. Failure is a constant on the road to success. Fear not. Embrace it. Don't be ashamed. Don't say people are laughing at me. The person who you think is laughing at you probably wants a hug from you. He or she probably needs to hear you tell them it's going to be okay. You're in good company. Samson failed. David failed. Moses failed. The question is, who hasn't failed? Other nations have gone through worse crises than we're going through right now. Those same nations are lending to us now. When Christ spoke about trials and tribulations, did you think you were exempted? It's a must, as long as you have life in you. There's a famous quote from Robert Kennedy: only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Today, I say to you all, fail greatly and emerge from failure greater than you were before failure came. That's the stuff champions are made of. The world must talk about your testimony. Harvard must use your success story as a case study in their business schools. Your victory must impact upon your generation. But this won't happen if you are focused on your failure. Failure is today. Focus on tomorrow, because therein success lies. Avoid the company of those who are wallowing in the shackles of misery. Misery always loves company. The truth is that not everyone will make it past failure. Not everyone will pass this test at the same time. Not everyone will pass this test the same way. But one thing is certain: God never fails those whose trust is in Him. He never fails those whose hearts are stayed on Him. He never fails those whose only plan is Yahweh, the Most High. I have failed so many times in my life, but with each failure came the comfort of knowing that God caught me as I fell. You want to feel His embrace? Fail and fall into His waiting arms and watch Him lift you right back up. This is the assurance of them that believe in Him. The question now is, who do you believe in? God bless you all.